Today I'm going to read you a story called A Bed for Coconut. There won't be any pictures to look at. You will have to do all the imagining in your brain. So try to picture the story. Try to imagine you're watching a movie of the story in your head. The story is called A Bed for Coconut. Do you remember who Coconut is? Coconut is Cass's cat, and it sounds like Cass might want a bed for Coconut. At the beginning of the story, Cass carries Coconut over to Doc's house, and Coconut is wiggling and squirming. Do you know what wiggling and squirming means? Kind of like what I was just doing, right? Coconut wanted to get down, and Cass was carrying her, so she was wiggling to try to get away. Can you wiggle like Coconut might have been wiggling away from Cass? Wiggling is, sometimes we get way too wiggly and then we have to calm ourselves down. Why would Coconut do that? Why would Coconut want to wiggle away from Cass? Maybe Coconut doesn't want Cass to hold her anymore. Maybe she wants to walk on her own. Coconut jumps out of Cass's arms and darts off. This is still you'll hear this in the story, but this is at the beginning of the story. What does it mean if Coconut darts out of Cass's hands? It means she runs really, really fast, and she scoots away. In this story, Cass wants Doc to help her build a bed for Coconut. The girls could make a plain or simple bed or a fancy bed with a lot of bright colors and sparkles and fancy parts. Imagine what a plain cat bed would look like. Simple, not too many colors. And then imagine what a really fancy cat bed would look like. Maybe it has ribbons on it and sparkles and sequins and stickers. So, you are going to listen to find out more about the bed that the girls plan to make for Coconut. A Bed for Coconut by Valerie Tripp. One day, Doc's doorbell rang. Ding dong! It was Cass. Her face looked red and she was huffing and puffing. In one arm, she was carrying her cat, Coconut, who was wiggling and squirming to get down. With the other arm, she was dragging a big cardboard box. "Oh, Doc," said Cass, "please help me build a bed for Coconut." "Sure," said Doc. "It'll be fun. Come on in." "Thanks," said Cass. Coconut jumped down, darted off, and hid under a chair. Cass sighed. "My mom says she's tired of Coconut leaving cat hairs all over the couch. She wants Coconut to have a bed to sleep in. So I brought some pieces of wood and an old blanket that we can use." Why does Cass need a bed for Coconut? Did you hear that in the story? Why does Cass want Doc's help for making a bed for Coconut? Cass's mom is tired of cat fur all over the house. She thinks that Coconut needs her own bed. That way she won't sit on the couch and there won't be cat fur all over the couch. Cass dumped the wood out of the cardboard box but left the blanket in it. "Do we have everything we need?" "Don't worry," said Doc. "I have the things we need to make a bed. Let's get started." But instead of picking up wood or tools, Doc sharpened 2 pencils, lined up her crayons, and put a sheet of paper on her desk. So right now, I am going to visualize in my brain. That means I'm going to make a picture of what is happening in my brain. And I want you to do the same thing. So maybe you even want to close your eyes so that you can make a really good picture of what's happening in this story. I'm imagining Cass and Doc in Doc's workshop. Cass is watching Doc line up her crayons and her pencils and the paper and getting all of the supplies ready. There are big pieces of wood in a pile next to the big cardboard box, but the blanket is still in the box. As I read, I keep changing the picture in my mind so that it matches what's happening in the story. We call that visualizing. "What are you doing?" asked Cass. "Well," said Doc, "we can't just start building. First, we need to draw a picture of what we want Coconut's bed to look like." "Okay," said Cass. She looked around Doc's workshop and spotted Doc's dollhouse. "Maybe we could make the cat bed look like a little house, like this," she said. Cass used one of the pencils to draw a house. "That is so cute," said Doc. "I love that idea. The house could have a roof that opens like a lid and a door that swings open so that Coconut can get in and out easily." Doc added her ideas to the drawing. "Let's paint the roof red and the door dark green," said Cass. She used the red crayon to color in the roof of the house and the green crayon to color in the door. Visualize again. Make a picture in your mind of Doc's drawing of Coconut's bed. What does the bed look like? Well, it looks like a little dollhouse. The roof is red and it opens up like a lid. The door is green and swings open, and it's big enough for Coconut to get in and out of. "That's pretty," said Doc. She looked at the drawing. "What if we drew daisies and daffodils and dandelions on either side of the door, like a little garden?" Doc asked. "Yes," said Cass. She watched Doc draw the flowers. Then she said, "Now the sides of the house look plain. Should we decorate them with ducks, dragons, or dinosaurs?" Doc giggled. "I don't think so," she said. "That would look too odd." "How about dots then?" Cass suggested. "Perfect," said Doc. She drew lots of dots on the house in the drawing. "Let's not forget the inside of the house," said Cass. "Right," agreed Doc. She drew a fluffy pillow for Coconut to sleep on. "Good," said Cass. "And you know, it sure would be handy if the house could be on wheels. Then I could drag it behind me when Coconut and I come to visit you." "Yes, let's add wheels," said Doc. Cass smiled. "Boy, that Coconut is one lucky cat," she said. She looked around. "Hey, wait a second," she said. She looked under the chair, but Coconut was not there. "Where is Coconut?" Suddenly, Doc burst out laughing. "Look," she said. She pointed to the old cardboard box that Cass had brought. Coconut was fast asleep inside, curled up happily on top of the old blanket. Cass laughed too. "I guess Coconut got tired of waiting," she said. "We loved our fancy ideas," said Doc, "but Coconut had ideas of her own. I guess she made her own bed." Why did Coconut end up making her own bed? She got tired of waiting. Doc and Cass's plans were becoming very, very fancy. And Coconut is the cat. Does Coconut really care if there's all that fancy drawings on her bed? No, she just wanted to go to sleep. So she used the old box with the blanket. That's it. "No dots, no daisies, no wheels," said Cass. "But if Coconut likes her new bed and really sleeps in it, then I'll be happy, and my mom will be happy too." The end. Now I'm going to ask you some questions to see if you understood and remembered the story we just read. Why do you think Doc wanted to make a plan before starting to build the bed? Lots of times if we have a project to do or something that's kind of lots of work, if we make a plan first, it's easier for us to decide what we have to do first and second. And building without a plan could lead to lots of mistakes. And if you make a plan first, then you'll know what you have to do. Do you think pets care if their beds are plain or fancy? I think that pets don't really care if they're plain or if their beds are plain or fancy. Like my pets, they'll sleep anywhere as long as it's squishy. So like a couch, a chair, the carpet, my bed, They'll lay down anywhere as long as it's squishy, but it doesn't have to have lots of different colors or flowers on it or drawings. Just squishy. Did you notice in this story that sometimes I got really excited with my voice when I was talking about Cass and Doc, when it was their voice? When they were very excited about making the plans, there were a lot of exclamation points when I was reading. So I made my voice sound like that. And then sometimes they asked questions, so I used my best question voice. When we read, we want to make our voices sound like the characters. That helps us understand the story better, and it makes the story really fun because we know when the characters are feeling happy, when they're asking a question, or when they're feeling sad.